Hey guitar friends, welcome to All About Guitar Academy. Today we're going to get out the acoustic guitar. We're going to learn 5 beginner-friendly acoustic rock guitar riffs. All right, so make sure you're in standard E tuning, and I'll see you here in less than a minute. Hey guitar friends, before we get started on the lesson, I wanted to let you know about my free ebook, Fast Track Guitar. It's designed to teach you how to play guitar in as little as 6 weeks or less, and I have a course that goes with it. You can find both of these items at allaboutguitaracademy.com. Can't wait to see you there and can't wait to hear about your guitar journey. All right, let's jump into this next lesson. Okay, imagine this. You're at a party. People know you play the guitar. There happens to be a guitar there. And they say, hey, pick up the guitar and play us some tunes. All right, that's why today we're going to cover 5 beginner-friendly riffs from easiest to hardest. My hope for this video is that by the time you watch this video, you'll be on your way to learning the rest of the songs. We don't just want to learn riffs. Riffs are great. It's a great way to start. But you want to eventually learn the entire song. And I do have some full-length videos of a deep dive into some of these songs, and I will put links for them up here at the top of the screen from time to time. But let's jump into the very first guitar song riff that I want to show you, and it's by the Allman Brothers. It's called Melissa. It goes like this. So what are we doing there? I'm glad you asked. I'll show you. We're going to start this song with an E major chord, and you'll notice I'm playing the E major with my fingers like this. I've got finger number 2 instead of finger number 1. A lot of people play E major like this, and that's fine. I do that too from time to time, but for this song, we're going to want to be able to slide up the fretboard of the guitar. And I'll show you what I mean, but first let's get our E major down like this. And I've got the chord chart up here for you. And we're using finger number 2 here on fret number 1 of string number 3. And then finger number 3 is going on fret number 2 of string 5. And then our pinky is placed down here on fret number 2 of string number 4. We play all the strings open. So it's a very full sounding E major chord, open strings, a lot of open strings here. So you want to make sure you have that E major down. Then what we're going to do is we're going to slide these 2 fingers here, 3 and 4, our pinky. We're going to slide them up a whole step. We're just going to slide these 2 fingers up from that E major a whole step, 2 frets up. And then we're going to put our index finger down on fret number 2 of string number 3. And we're just going to play strings 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and you can muffle string 6 with your thumb if you want. Then we're going to slide that same chord shape up another whole step. So it's kind of like a G sharp minor, and we're going to play that same chord pattern. Then we're going to go back down a whole step. Then we go to E major. So the strumming pattern that I'm using for this opening riff is down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down. So it's down, down. Then we're going to slide up to the next chord. Down, up, down, up, down, 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 down. All right, and it's okay if you play the open E string, string 6. I think it sounds a little bit better if you don't when you slide up to the F sharp minor and the G sharp minor, but it's okay. I just want you to get used to being able to muffle that 6th string, the open E string with your thumb. or just don't play it. But if you do, it still sounds okay. I'll demonstrate both ways. This is playing with the open E string, all three chords. All right, now let's do it. We're going to muffle the E string on chord 2 and chord 3. So here we go. All right, and that is most of the song, Melissa. There's a lot more that goes on in there. There's several other chords and chord changes, and we'll do a full-length video on that song soon. But that'll at least get you started on Melissa by the Allman Brothers. Awesome, awesome acoustic guitar song. Let's take a look at riff number 2 by 10 Years After. I'd Love to Change the World. Very, very popular song by 10 Years After. And it's not too hard. So let me show you what we're doing here. We've got E minor and A minor. And also you want to be familiar with a C major. And the other little chord we've got in there is a B7. So what we're doing on this riff, we're starting with the E minor, and then we're going to go up the fretboard, frets 1, 2, and 3, and then go to a G major. So it's frets 1, 2, and 3 of string 6 and to a G major. So we start with the open E, E minor. Now we're going to go up the fretboard, frets 1, 2, and 3. So I started with the open E string, then the F note, next fret, and then the G note on fret 3. And we're playing a G major chord. Then we're going to go to an A minor chord. And we're going to walk up again, just like we did on string 6. We're going to walk up on string number 5. Like that. But I'm actually going to land on finger number 3 here because I want to play that C major chord. So let me demonstrate again, starting with string 6, the open E minor chord. A minor, and then the open A, C major. Now we're going to walk down to fret number 2 of string 5 and make that B7. All right, and we're just playing each string one time. All right, let's do that again, starting with E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, and... It's as simple as that. It just takes some practice. You want to make sure that you hit one note at a time on the riff parts, and then you've got the chords memorized because you'll use those chords in the rest of the song, because the rest of the song goes something like this. Go back into the riff. All right, let's take a look at Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here. Such an awesome little riff and a cool little lead at the beginning. I'm not going to get into the lead part today, but we're going to take a look at the riff, all right? And if this is your first time doing it, I think you're going to find this is not as bad as you thought it was. All right, so we're going to start with a G major chord, but the way the riff starts out, we're just playing the G note. So we're going to use finger number 2 and put it on fret number 3 of string 6. That's our G note. All right, we're going to do a little bit of hammer-ons and some pull-offs in this, but they're going to be easy ones. So we're going to hammer on after that note to fret number 2, string number 5. So it sounds like this. So in other words, we're going to play the G note, then we're going to play the open A string and hammer on to the 2nd fret of that string. Then we're going to do the same thing on string number 4. So I'll demonstrate G, open A, hammer on, open D, and then hammer on to the 2nd fret. So we'll do it really slow. One more time. I'm just simply down picking on this riff. All right. So you want to practice this little riff over and over, and then we're going to go to the chords. Again, we go. Make sure you have that down. Now we're going to go to a G major chord. And what I want you to do, you can play it 2 different ways. A lot of people and a lot of teachers will show you to play a G major chord with your pinky and your 3rd finger here on fret number 3 of strings 1 and 2. And then you've got your other fingers like this. And the chord is right here above me. All right. I like to play, just because I had a hand injury and it's easier for me to play it this way, I like to press down on both string 1 and 2 with my 3rd finger. And you can do it like this, and then play the rest of your G major chord. Now another thing is, since we're going to be using our index finger a lot, we don't have to play this G major chord with our index finger on fret number 2 of string 5. As long as you're muting that string 5, you can play kind of what we call an easy G or an easy G5 power chord that we've learned in some of the other lessons we've done, where you're not using your index finger, and that leaves it available to play the other parts of the riff. So I'm going to go through the riff for you, and then we're going to dissect it. So what we're doing there, we're going to be using that G major chord, so make sure you've got that. And we're going to be lifting off with our index finger to play the other parts of the riff. We're going to keep our finger down here on fret number 3, strings 1 and 2, or you can keep fingers 1 and 2 down here on fret number 3. You can do it either way. So let's do it together really slow. And when I'm playing this chord, I'm only playing strings 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then I'm going to play the open string number 3. Then we're going to play string 4 on fret 2. And then open. And then back to the G major. The key here is learning this G major, where you can keep that G major chord ready and available while you're moving your index finger around to play the rest of the riff. Let's do it one more time together. We're going to start with that G note. We're going to play this riff. I'll do that again. Okay, and that we're just going to an A major chord, but keeping our fingers on fret number 3 of strings 1 and 2. That's what what it sounds like. Major. And we're going down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. So when we're playing the G major, we're going down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. Then we go back into the riff again. Then the whole rest of the song has got some very easy, open, basic chords. We're going to save that for another lesson. But I hope you learn the whole song. Let's go to the next riff. All right, let's do a little John Cougar Mellencamp, Pink Houses. This is one that's highly requested a lot of times if you're at a campfire, parties, 4th of July. And I do have a full video on it you can click on if you want to learn the entire song. But basically we're using that same G major that we just did in the last riff. All right, we're also going to be using a C major chord. And we're going to be doing an easy version of an F major chord. It sounds like this and it looks like that. So let's jump right into the riff. We're going to be playing that G note that we played in the other riff, which is on string number 6, fret number 3. And that's how we start the riff. We just hit it one time. I'm using finger number 2. Then I'm going to take finger number 1 and I'm going to slide up from fret 1 to fret 2 on string 5. So it kind of goes like this. I'll do that again. Okay. And if you're struggling with that, you can just go straight to the B note, which is string 5, fret 2. So, but I like to slide it up. It just sounds better and it's good practice for you if you can master that. So let's do the G note and slide up to the B note again. One more time. Okay, now we're going to play this open G string, string number 3. So I'm alternate picking. I'm doing a down pick and then an up pick on the G note, the open G string. I'll do it real slow. Then we go back to the G note and play the G major chord. C major, and then back to the G major. So we're going to do a quick change from the G major chord to the C major chord and then back to the G major, and we start the riff again. So again, this one's going to take some practice, but let's do this together. We'll do it slow. We're going to start with the G note. C major, and then back to the G major. Then we go back into the riff. All right, it's as easy as that, right? No, but if you're still struggling with this, take your time. It does take a while to master. That's why I've saved this riff for the second to last one. And the key to this, I would say, is if you can master the riff part, the rest of it is just chords. G major, C major, and the rhythm part is a little tricky. So it takes some time. So let's start from the beginning of the riff. We're going to do it slow the first time and then regular speed the second time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to speed it up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then there's a part where we go to the F major, C, Like I said, I've got a full-length video on this if you want to dive deeper into the song, but keep practicing this little riff at the beginning, and you'll have this song down in no time. Let's go to our last riff. All right, Led Zeppelin, Over the Hills and Far Away. Not an easy riff to play if you're a brand new beginner at guitar, but I'm going to do my best to show you. And I also have a video that takes a deep dive into it. I'll put it up here, Over the Hills and Far Away, which has a lot more detail to that video. But I'm gonna share the opening riff with you. We're going to be doing some hammer-ons and pull-offs, but we're going to be using some of the same chords that you're familiar with. We've got that G major. But let's jump into the riff part. Now, what we're doing there, we're playing an open third string, the G string. Then we're going to hammer on down to fret number 2 of string number 3. And then we're going to pull off, so it's... Alright, and then we're going to go to string number 4. And we're going to play fret number 4. And then open, and then we're going to go back to the open G. So I'll do it again. It's really as easy as that. We're just going to be speeding this up quite a bit. So I'm going to do that riff again. Open G, 2nd fret, open G, fret 4 of string 4, open string, and then open G. All right, but of course, Jimmy Page is doing it much faster than that. All right, and that's what takes some practice. But what I just showed you is the key to learning that riff. So let's do that again together, the open string. The more you practice that over and over, and if you alternate pick, you'll notice I'm doing alternate picking, you're going to be able to hammer on and add that extra effect. It just takes some practice. So let's go through it one more time. One more time. Then we go to that G major chord. Then we're strumming. So it's kind of a down, up, up, down. Down, up, up, down. Then we go back into the riff. Now we're going to add an extra note here. All right, so the way the riff goes the second time, fret number 4 of string 3, then down to fret number 2, then the open string G, and then the open D string, string 4. So I'll do that again. One more time. One more time. Then we go to a D major chord. So you notice that we go to a G major first, then we go to a D major. So let's do the whole riff together a little bit faster. All right, you just have to speed it up. So when we speed it up, it sounds like this. So the part that really takes practice is the hammer-ons and pull-offs. All right, and That's going to take some practice, but make sure you watch my video that shows most of the song instead of just the very beginning intro. All right, I hope these acoustic rock riffs helped you out today. And if they did, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. Stay tuned for more.